Section 5.5, using symbols to subtract fractions. As in the addition section of operations with fractions, in order to complete the equation, the fractions have to have common denominators. They have to have the same number on the bottom. When the numbers on the bottom are the same, the objects are cut into the same size, which makes it easier to subtract the fractions. If this was 4 over 5 minus 2 over 4, it would be a little bit different, but because they're both cut into 5 pieces, it's a lot easier to subtract that way. 4 over 5 minus 2 over 5, okay, is 2 over 5. The 2 and the 5, no number can go into both of them. That's as low as we can go. These two fractions have common denominators, or a common denominator, pardon me, of 5. So once they are cut into the same number of pieces, you can subtract the numerators. 4 minus 2 is 2, 2 over 5. Another example, when one fraction has a different denominator than the other one. In this case, it's 4 over 6 minus 1/2, or 1 over 2. We need to make sure that they have a common denominator. The number on the bottom needs to be the same. Well, 2 is a factor of 6. Okay, so you are able to find a number that will multiply 2 to make 6. In this case, 2 times 3 would be 6. We can do that to the second fraction. When we multiply the bottom, we have to multiply the top by the same number. 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 3 is 3. So 4 over 6 minus 1/2 into the with a common denominator would be 4 over 6 minus 3 over 6. And then once you do that subtraction, you end up with 1/6. And that's as small as that fraction can go. Now, in this case, we have two different denominators, and they are not factors of each other. 3 and 3 does not go into 7, and 7 does not go into 3, so we need to find a number that can be a common denominator for both fractions. And the fastest way to do that we've been doing in the last few classes is to multiply one whole fraction by the opposite denominator. So 3 over 7, I'm going to multiply that by 3, but what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. And then for the other fraction, 1 over 3, I'm going to multiply that by 7. When I multiply the bottom, I need to multiply the top by. So all we're really doing here is multiplying one fraction by the bottom denominator for both sides. So then that would end up 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 7 is 21, and 7 times 1 is 7, and 3 times 7 is 21. So our new fractions are 9 21sts, or 9 over 21, minus 7 21sts, or 7 over 21. And then we just do our basic math. 9 minus 7 is 2. Our objects are still cut into 21 pieces, so our denominator does not change. 2 over 21. 21 is divisible by 3 and 7, not by 2, so this is as low as that fraction can go. So steps to using symbols to subtract fractions. The first one is to find a common denominator. You can multiply the fraction by the denominator of the other fraction, like we did here. 3 over 7 minus 1/3, we multiplied the opposing fraction by the other denominator. What you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So if you multiply the bottom by 3, you have to multiply the top by 3, and vice versa for the other side. Step number 2 is add the numerators. Sorry, subtract the numerators. This should say subtract. Subtract the numerators, leaving denominator the same. You aren't changing what the shape is cut into, so the denominator will stay the same. In this case, as an example, 4 over 6 and 3 over 6, it's still cut into 6. Everything is still sixths. So 4/6 minus 3/6 is 1/6. Make sure the fraction's in its lowest terms. And if you have an improper fraction, make sure you make your answer into a mixed number. So in this case, we have 21 over 10 as our fraction. And we need to make sure that's in its lowest terms, and we make it into an improper fraction. Well, 10 goes into 21 2 times, leaving us 1 over 10. 21/10 is the same as 2 and 1/10 is a mixed number. 1/10 is as low as that fraction can go. The reason this is called an improper fraction, once again, is because the top is bigger than the bottom. It's improper. And this is a mixed number because it's two different types of numbers. It's a whole number with the 2, and it is a fraction with the 1/10. So, your practice question. 5/6 minus 3/4. Find the answer and bring it into class.